Okay, we have Three's company, meet Havel at the gates of Randala. And we're not gonna make for Origin right now. Actually, we're gonna grab some more quests, I think. And also, we need to do some reading. First, I'm gonna go to the chamber? Is it two different things? So there is something here. Oh, a lot to read. Concern for Jill. Who is concerned? Ah, of course, Joshua. Though her Eikon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart, and we would be poor friends indeed if we not seek to lighten that burden. Even but only a fraction before we depart for the skies, I would speak on this more in private. Oh, so he's opening a quest for her. I wonder if we continue on this one, if we'll unlock Jill as well, so she can come with us.
Worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
The more the merrier. Priceless. Of course I'm gonna prioritize it. And read up some more from Joshua as well. Do you remember what you told me that night at Phoenix Gate? That while the fate of Rosaria sits only on my shoulders, the fate of its dominant sits upon yours. But are we not both dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both our hearts? Should I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield, now let me choose to be yours. Is this not what our father wanted? What Sid wanted? Cast aside fate and forge our own paths. Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. Joshua. Oh, of course. How long you have been Joshua's shield. And then the thought of him being gone. Just let him do this for once. Okay, from Cyril. My Lord Marquess, I write to thank you for the kind consideration you have shown for those whose names are written within the pages of the Book of Martyrs. I know that it would move them deeply to know that the first shield of the Phoenix laments their passing, though each and every member of our order stands ready to sacrifice their lives in service of the Phoenix. I do not doubt that those who are taken before their time go with regret for the long years of duty left undone. That they should live on in the memory of a proud son of House Rosfield, such as yourself, shall surely go some way to soothing their sorrows. May the Phoenix flame burn ever in your heart. Oh, that's what he said to us before as well. Okay, Duty Undying 2. This is the note after we did that one. That which conquers all. From Isabel, or Carla. Here, not long removed from when last you placed yourself between us and peril, I sit and pen yet another letter in which I try and find the words to somehow express the gratitude of an entire town. Still, something feels different about our latest triumph. Where in the past we leaned ever so heavily upon your good graces, this time we found strength elsewhere, in ourselves. Our hardship has shown us that, which should have been apparent all along, we are not as different as we want to believe. Does a peasant love his homeland any less than a noble? Does a bearer love his family any less than another man does his own? It is this love that has united us and given us true strength. Should every thrall, Akashic bandit and brigand in the realm come charging our gates, we will not fret, we will not falter, we will fight, and we will win. Okay, she is a warrior, this woman. Not only is she a businesswoman, but she is a warrior at heart. I believe the people also believe that she is one of the greatest leaders for Northreach. That's the kind of spirit we need. The two of you have been together for what you probably feels like a lifetime now, but there is still a lot you have to learn about that hound of yours. Hey, he'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant protecting you. But that doesn't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and sometimes he just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of kupo nuts. You'd do good to remember that, Karen. You know what? He deserves everything in the world because Torgal is the best. What would we not do for Torgal? We're gonna take the other quest in the chamber another time. Because I don't wanna have too many quests and then not know what they're about. So I'd rather just do this. Now we're gonna do some reading.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost.
Ask about origin.
Ah, yes.
You have arrived at a solution then. Yeah, we're gonna fly. Dion will carry us.
Indeed.
A feat befitting the final act. I congratulate myself that I shall live long enough to see it. A feat in itself for a man of my years. How old are you, Harpocrates? But to be serious, it is no small thing to march against fate, Clive. You must be certain of your footing, lest the winds of destiny divert you from your course. Oh, let's hope not. Are you certain of your footing, Clive? Well, we're not really done yet, but yes, I am.
Then go.
And do what you must. Look how happy he looks.
I have a few new notes that might interest you.
Everything goes as planned. You never know with a Final Fantasy game, but
if you have a question for me,
they can't make it a bad end, like every good person dies. Clive's faithful friend, after the two were separated in the tragedy at Phoenix Gate, Torgal continued to search for his missing master, sniffing out anything that bore Clive's scent and carrying it home to their secret island hideaway. It was during one of his forays on the mainland that he encountered Sid, who took the lonely Torgal in, fashioning an anklet for the lovelorn pup which he treasured to this day. I think it's so fascinating that Torgal still wants to have this anklet, because it was put there because he was gnawing at his ankle. But now it's there because he wants to remember Sid. Neglectful parents after witnessing how they abused and undervalued the child, and it has been his pleasure to serve her ever since. His nan feels much the same way about him, going so far as to call him her right eye. On the rare occasion she lets her true feelings slip. We got to know this from Karen before. That's why he's such a teddy bear. Aww. I hope everyone is good to him. A place of worship located in the depths of Phoenix Gate, an ancient stronghold on the northwestern border of the former Duchy of Rosaria. A large mural dominates the sacred chamber where the rite of ancestral communion, a ceremony carried out by the duchy's dominant prior to marching into battle, was once performed. We are getting to know more about this circle of Malleus and the mural, Ultima. It's very interesting. I just hope we get shocked with some kind of information, because I like not being in the right. A secretive order who serve the lords of Rosaria from the shadows. They revere the mighty Phoenix and its dominant, and once presided over the rites of ancestral communion at Phoenix Gate. You outside the order know of its existence. Even among the highest-ranking members of Rosarian nobility, their loyalty to His Grace Joshua Rosfield is absolute, and none among them would hesitate to lay down their lives for his sake. At his command, their efforts are currently devoted to uncovering the truth behind the mysterious being known as Ultima. A search for answers. Whatever information we get, it's fine. Just don't risk your lives. We can handle the big game. What more are we gonna read about? I don't wanna read too much. Clive's alter ego, albeit the one that was forced upon him by Lubor. Fondness for theatrics. It was Lord Underhill of the Randala League of Merchants who made it known to Natalie that help from the capital would not be forthcoming, and that the people of Dhalmekia must work together to fulfill their stores. Jill was rather more convincing in the role of Lady Jane of the Red Wings. I have some kind of... who planted the idea of forming a town guard in Conrad's mind. Both Conrad and Natalie still address Clive by his name, though in Natalie's case, this would appear to be not but a courtesy to his dramatic efforts. Clive, you weren't bad, but compared to Jill, I mean, she killed it. What more? The fall of Drake's Spine. The Waluda capital of Stone here, already besieged by Akashic and Beastmen, was rocked yet further by the destruction of its mother crystal, Drake's Spine, at the hands of Sid the Outlaw and his companions, aka Clive Rosfield. Drake's Spine, the fall of Drake's tail meant that for a brief moment it was the last remaining mother crystal in Valisthea. That moment, however, ended abruptly when the spine fell following Clive's otherworldly struggle with Ultima. Yeah, we were in a completely other dimension. How we got out of it? I mean, he could have kept us locked in there. He could have just, like, thrown away the key and be like, deuces, y'all are staying inside. Drake's Tail. A mother crystal that was located in Crystalline Dominion. It was one of the only 5 remaining in Valisthea, and the largest of its kind. It was lost in the chaos that followed the rebellion spearheaded by Prince Dion Lesage and his Knights Dragoon, but not before undergoing a fantastical transformation heretofore unwitnessed in the entirety of Valisthean history. A literal blossoming of the crystal, its shards peeling away like petal of a snow daisy to reveal the sacred heart within. And what was it? 100% a wyvern's tail. Could not be anything else than that. Fall of Drake's Tail, led by Prince Dion Lesage, resulted in the destruction of much of the Crystalline Dominion's capital, and the Mother Crystal's Drake Tail along with it. After the prince lost control of his Eikon Bahamut, one curious thing to note is that many who survived the Night of Chaos claim they witnessed the crystal bloom like a flower. Yeah, we know. That was technically almost the same information. Nothing hidden there. Savior Cult, a religion that has arisen in recent years in Ash, and which has its basis in the Circle of Malleus, an ancient faith whose followers worshipped Ultima as a god. It was popularized by King Barnabas Tharmer of Walud, who spread its prayers and rituals among his people. Believers see becoming Akashic as a means of achieving purity and of being freed from the torments of the mortal realm. You know what? Believe whatever you want. At this point, I'm not even gonna bother. If you wanna go with Ultima's path, you go. We did read this one, right? the ancient religion from which more recent survivor cults grew. Its beliefs were originally drawn from murals left behind by the people who lived near the mother crystal Dhalmekia. But while at one point it was a faith followed throughout Valisthea, time and the fading memory of the ancient culture that spawned it saw it gradually fall from favor. Oh, okay, so there wasn't just some kind of groups of people, it was like throughout Valisthea. Okay, seems pretty major then. Magic. The art of channeling ether to make, yeah, we know that. Crystal, after Ultima cast Primogenesis and the skies over Valisthea darkened, many of the municipal crystals that fired forts and filled wells began to fail. In certain areas, even those rationed shards that the people relied on in their everyday lives lost their spark, making life all but unlivable. Yeah, but then again, we heard of some group by the Undying. We heard of some group that actually are living without crystals. And where are those people? How long have they come? Because they will be living without the crystals. Most bearers are identified soon after birth and marked with the slave brand, but fortunate few are not and remain unbranded. An unbranded bearer can live like any other man or woman, so long as their knack for magic remains a closely guarded secret. Should it be revealed, however, they are denounced as liars and imposters. Not our Lubor. Shattered aspects of Ultima's power given flesh by human host. It is the two wardens of fire, Phoenix and Ifrit, who together comprise his perfect form. The icons of the lesser elements serving as sacrifices to Mythos' altar in order to test and bolster the vessel's strength. He will need both. Does he need us alive, is the question. Or does he not? Seems like the latter. Ancient mural, a religious image of the Circle of Malleus, an ancient faith that worship both the Mother Crystals and Ultima. It depicts the icons arranged in adoration of a central figure thought to be Ultima, the god that rules above them all. Joshua discovers an unblemished version in the depths of Waluder's stronghold of Jallarhorn, and learns that the figure thought to be Ultima is in fact that of Ifrit Ryzen. Ifrit and the Phoenix united as one. I think when you see it, you definitely see it. That it is Ifrit and the Phoenix. And maybe Bahamut is the one at the feet. A great war that occurred in ancient times between the few who bear the blessing and the many who do not. It ended in decisive victory for the unblessed masses and the signing of the Continental Accord, which cemented the systematic subjugation of the bearer minority. It was not until 100 years later that the first Eikons were to emerge, their human hosts being named Dominants after the savior myth of the Circle of Malleus, which held that the Lord's return would be heralded by the appearance of his heavenly servants, most wondrous and most dominant. Such was the awesome power of these creatures that the authorities had no option but to exempt them from the system of slavery, announcing them to be something other than a lowly bearer and deserving of the highest honor, lest they should side with their fellow oppressed and bringing a second deluge upon the master's heads. Deluge. What? Deluge? I don't know. I have no clue. I'm not native to English. What more is there? The executors. A shadowy cabal who control the truth of the realm by collecting and concealing any knowledge they believe should remain hidden. They appear to view themselves as the guardians of humanity, protecting people from what would only cause them pain. From a distance, the shameful history of the enslavement of bearers is but one of the books of the executors would see expunged from public record. I wonder if we will meet up with them again. Seems like we definitely will, but when? It doesn't seem like it's the time right now. But when will it be? We don't even know what happens when we defeat Ultima, if we defeat Ultima. Will. That which separates humans from animals and is given shape by consciousness, a sense of self, and a freedom of thought. Even when one is deprived of other freedoms, it is one's will that drives the pursuit of true liberty. To Ultima, however, human will is a sickness that prevents them from taking their proper, divine form, that of the Akashic who blindly serve his own purpose. To this end, he cast primogenesis, transforming much of humanity into his soulless servants. Ultima's and Gongora from Lost Odysseys' purpose is almost the same. Like, they do not like the feelings of humans. And a strong will for a human is not easily broken. The bonds of consciousness, the fellow feeling that binds a person with those they love and who love them. So long as these bonds remain strong, so too does a human's grip upon their will. Ultima casts primogenesis in order to sever these bonds of consciousness, that humanity might lose their wills and turn Akashic, and that his vessel might be perfected. Well, the savior cult, that's how Ultima wants them all to be. Just be prepared. Sin, in Ultima's eyes, mankind's greatest sin is the awakening of free will. His servants straying from the path their creators laid out for them and forging one of their own. However, Clive contends that this is a sin by which Ultima is equally bestained. And indeed, if humanity is indeed Ultima's creation, does not their every action, every emotion stem from him? He is but right. So, is he really the creator, or is he just BSing through all of this? Well, we'll just have to see. New world. The paradise Ultima seeks to summon into creation, one free from the blight that almost ended his race. Though Barnabas believed that he and his fellow faithful would be allowed to join his deity there, he was mistaken. Only Ultima and his kin shall have a place in this new paradise, a paradise freed not only from blight, but from humanity. Once again, Barnabas, you were gonna be duped. Duped. Would he have been on our side if he knew? The Arch, the dark ill-omened skies unleashed when Ultima brought about primogenesis. The word Arch is used only on Ash, where the coming of the cursed skies has long been foretold as a harbinger of the end of all things. Whenever I read Harbinger, I'm always thinking Mass Effect. Love that game. Primogenesis, a spell cast by Ultima that cast a roiling pall over all Valisthea. The unbalance in the ether that resulted not only sapped the potency of crystals, we already read that.
Did you learn everything you needed?
For now, yes. Thank you, Tomes. We are gonna continue. I want to continue with Jill's quest line. So we're gonna go to Joshua. Now I don't have to lean forward so much. Oh, Torgal, you're with Joshua. Cuteness. I love you so much.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but...
Oh, my cat.
Since we returned from Drake's spine...
Yeah, come något?
I felt it more and more.
Vänta lite. Snart kommer jag.
Why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember.
Oh, we're gonna search these up.
Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
Let's go there.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left.
Oh, yeah.
What would you do without me, Clive?
You are right about that. My cat
I can't
just
say my
woke up.
travels ever took me back to Man's Hill. I'm curious to see how it has fared.
So I will have to pause. Okay, Hawk's Cry Cliff. Let's see if the daisies are here. Oh. They look...
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
Grow new ones? But it'll take
Keep looking.
so much time though,
Man's
right?
Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
You're
Perhaps,
right.
but it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone in the backyard. To the hideaway, then.
Okay, let's go to our pals at the hideaway. This was quite a nice place. Don't you think so,
When
Torgal?
did you get so big?
Oh my god, my cat is so cute. He just opened my door and was like, meow. What are you doing? Not here with me. Oh my
Let's
god,
hope
what
one of
am
the
I even
gardeners
saying?
knows where to find snow daisies.
He doesn't like it when I'm playing games and not giving him attention, so that's why I had to pause directly. But now he's in here with me, about to sleep. He doesn't like to be alone. Might you know something?
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your
Daisies.
advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the
Man's
Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
I really hope the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
You learn where we might find our flowers.
Man's
The
Hill.
gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrek.
Yeah,
The fields
whatever
beyond
you said.
Northridge. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilefeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.
We should have just asked her then. So, to North Reach. I'm guessing we just check first and then get Jill over here?
The garrison said they'd take another.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Oh, I hope they make this like into a date kind of thing. But also I don't want
That fool.
Joshua to be a third wheel. Although we have Torgal, so it's gonna be fine, right? Joshua just not gonna stand there watching Clive and Jill being all embarrassed.
How are we gonna arm the garrison without a forge?
Might be some smiths down south.
Well, I really hope we get a romantic cutscene.
The Duke has pledged to work with the people of Northreach to rebuild the Empire.
Carla, the dame needn't worry. I am a man of my word, and I fully intend to keep it.
You seem honorable enough, so I will take you on your words. Royal Meadows. Yeah, sure, this will be great. There's just some dinosaurs roaming about.
Meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
I love that we're talking over the music. The battle music. Oh. Okay, let's go up here instead. I did not miss getting 2 gil. Although I don't even need money, I have a lot, and there's a lot of daisies over there. Clive no need any. Yep, we see them. Diamond dust, everyone! Bam!
The flowers and our friends.
They just want to watch the romantic cutscene, right, you guys?
Get him!
Well, I guess y'all don't want any witnesses to this wedding. Hopefully a wedding. A girl can dream, right? Bye-bye. Ah? The battle music is still going, so there's something. Ah. A Minotaur.
Let's hope this is the last one.
Don't miss you.
Only one way to find out.
Ooh, a perfect dodge with the cold snap. And I missed the wicked wheel. Ah, of course. I'm such a klutz. Honestly, I'm just glad I can play and talk at the same time, because I cannot do 2 things at a time. So if I don't make sense at times, it's because of that. I will confuse myself, I swear. But it was an interesting read there that if man is made out of Ultima, then Ultima must also have had these kind of feelings that the humans, the mortals, are having. Or if he's just BSing us, he might be just BSing us. We don't know. He might have taken over from another god, like a more kind god, and not one who wants to freaking kill us because we got free will, because we're not mindless Akashi. I love cold snap. I can't say I'm too fond with the other Shiva abilities. Except cold snap. Of course, I love the diamond dust one, but...
Get him! You're finished! That was harder than I expected.
Oh, they're so pretty.
But found her. It was worth it. They're beautiful.
Oh, Jill is gonna be so happy.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
Let's go get Jill. If they don't do a romantic cutscene, I'm gonna be so disappointed. Like, the setup is perfect. Come on, Clive. I have trust in you. Big belief in you.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Preferably not. If it didn't bring Sid back, that is. Him and Thunder. Okay, speak with Jill, our favorite girl. And she's still on our balcony. It's ours, Jill and Clive's. It's not Clive's chamber. Not anymore. Can we switch the text?
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's,
She's so adorable.
not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
She must be clueless right now. She must be like, what is he planning?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. I don't know what to say.
She's so happy. You
don't
can
need to
see
say
it on her.
anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you. Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
I want to
How could
know.
I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped.
And she kept
So
being a
lonely.
pawn. To the Iron
I didn't know.
Bloods. Or whatever they were called
I
again.
wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling.
They are perfect for each other. They are up there with Tidus and Yuna. Could possibly be... No, I can't say that, not yet. But they're so wholesome. I love their relationship.
The morning after the storm. Do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the Tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized...
That could be you.
That no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
My heart is racing for these two. Oh, I can't stop it.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
Married.
I don't know.
She's afraid. That's
Not
what.
here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then... that's what you'll have.
Oh my god, he's such a green flag.
And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
Okay, yo, he's even better than Tidus. I'm dying. This is so wholesome, so cute, so romantic.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll
Clive.
treasure it forever.
Put it on. Clive.
Thank you, Clive.
I would have loved to see that.
This, the flowers, everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
Oh my gosh, these two. Yeah, this might actually be my favorite couple. There's like nothing toxic with this couple at all. Everything is just green flag, green flag, green flag. He's a W, she's a W.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
That was even better than I imagined the quest to go, or the cutscene to go. It was even more beautiful, and the dialogue, I loved it. I never was much good at garlands, but we'll have to do. I was waiting for Clive to put it on, but okay, I guess he didn't want to. Song of Winter, Autumn Gone, From Frosted Lips, Oblivion. Ooh, Northern Nursery Rhyme. Give Us Kiss. Diamond Dust. Oh, 7.5 seconds. And I think it's already quite quick with the cooldown, so... Yay! Joining hands with Jill in several ways. Oh my god, this was such a beautiful scene. Did you like it too, Torgal? I'm trying to pet you.
Get it, boy!
But you can have a candy instead. And you can have some pets as well. Because pets and candy aren't the same. Just look at this. So beautiful. Even the view from here is really, really beautiful. I would love this place. What freaking crystal are we seeing? Should we go to Bucklad? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Maybe we should do this Three's Company?
Do you see that too?
Everyone's worried about the crystal. Oh, it's all over there, okay.
There are many variations of the Dhalmekian legend, but almost all agree that man was punished for presuming to set foot in the sanctum of the gods. Some describe it as holy, others heavenly, which is to say, of the heavens. Could it be that the baleful mass that now glowers over us is this very sanctum? Have the gods returned to pass judgment upon us once more?
One of them, at least. We don't know about the others, but one of them wants to wipe us out.
What is it? Please, just make it stop.
Nothing good's gonna come of this, I'm telling you.
Just looking at it's enough to send a shiver down your spine.
It's okay, y'all. And it's so close to the Dhalmekia's fall. Will it move to the falls? Because there's supposed to be something at the bottom, or there's myths about it. I would like to know, but I wouldn't want to go there when there's water. I mean, whatever could be down there.
Time to fight.
Maybe Leviathan lost? Is that why Leviathan is lost? In Final Fantasy VIII, it was Fujin who had Leviathan. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna call Leviathan Leviathan and Leviathan. Maybe we're not gonna see that icon.
Another food, can it?
We're prepared for a fight if needed.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men,
Cocky bastard.
finish him.
Oh, they really have a lot of confidence in themselves. How about now? Or now? You could run if you like to, but now comes the Bahamut balls. It's gonna go quick, so just stand still. The other one is just like standing idle. Good job, Torgal. You rolled him to... There we go. What now?
A little longer than I'd have liked.
You think? I think we were pretty quick.
Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course.
You should have listened.
My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Whichever you like.
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am.
Exactly.
Or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question.
That is?
What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right.
It's always right.
You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
Who are we thinking about, Clive? I'm sure he has someone great in mind.
Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quinten. I hope I can convince him at least.
Yes. Great. That is a great option. I would say Quinten or Lubor. They both good at talking. Talking politics and stuff. Clive, you don't have to do it. Let's just see if he's up for it. We have to go from here. Come on, guys. Make it out of this blue fog. Torgal isn't affected by it either. Is it also because he has like these iconic powers? He's no ordinary frost wolf. I would rather Torgal be an immortal, because I never, ever wanna see Torgal fall. I'm not gonna say the other word, because then I'm gonna cry.
Quinten's gonna build us new Lost Wing, and I'm gonna help.
We may be bruised, we may be battered, but we won't stop fighting.
Master Quinten needs us now more
They
than
got
ever.
soul.
I'd have followed Quinten to that manor if I could have done, and I'll keep following him now. Wherever that surly bastard cares to lead us.
He's a good leader. But does he think
Quinten, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Goetz gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them.
You wouldn't
You'll
really
have to
be
find someone
abandoning them.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
So, let's go.
Any statesmen we speak with are liable to resist our entreaties if they feel that what little power remains to them is at stake. They must be
Understandable.
dealt with skillfully. I shall not repeat the errors of my past.
You know what? I completely believe in you. You can do it, Quinten. If anyone can, it's him, all right. We might have a resistance, but I think Quinten, he will definitely put through.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinten would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinten can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Don't you all just love Byron? He's such a fun character. He doesn't even need to be trying anything. He's so lovable. Oh, we're already here.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations.
Don't you fat shame Byron.
Going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
I can't with this. Byron. Not so subtle, Carl.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
Yay! All went well.
Well, my boy, The stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast.
100%.
We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Will Byron be in our team now? Although I prefer him to not get hurt, so be safe. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Byron Vosvik. And we got the Breath of Darkness, Heaven's Cloud, also from Byron. Cooldown down by 2.5. Byron is not here?
Sorry. Can't take you where you need to get to. But the Argo and me will be waiting when you get back.
Okay, so who took the boat?
What do you think that thing is?
And how the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
Believe in me. Or more like, believe in us. Although I'm pretty afraid to involve anyone else, because that might mean that somebody dies. What if we got different endings?
Brother.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? We still have a lot of side quests to do, and here's
While
Byron.
I admit I had my doubts at first. Your man Quinten seems a reasonable sort. That and every moment he's talking instead of Havel, the better chance we'll have of setting things straight. You can trust in us, Clive, just as we trust in you.
Thank you. You are the best. We should speak with Jill. And also, we still have a quest here. First, Jill.
Clive, do you have a moment?
Always.
Always.
I wanted to give you something.
Oh my.
I stitched it from the cloth you gave Hortense. The piece she said you liked best. I told her I used to enjoy needlework, but I didn't think she'd remember.
That's why we had to choose.
You didn't have to.
When I was very little, I recall my mother telling me that young ladies of the court would give knights ribbons from their hair before they went off to war. I still wear mine, so I made you this instead. Red is the color of passion. The fire in your heart.
That's what we picked.
Fierce and bright, it binds you and your brother. You and your friends. You and me.
Our bond. May it never be broken.
I love the two of them so much.
May it
so
ever
much.
bring you back to me.
Freaking hope
I
so.
will always be here.
Thank you, Jill.
Oh, why can't there be love like this in the real world? Okay, I think this... Wait, we can speak with Jill. So I'm gonna speak with Jill, and then I'm gonna end the episode. And then I'm gonna have to see if my cat is still sleeping, or if he wants some food. He seems to be sleeping. Okay guys, this is it. Thank you all for watching, and bye bye.